Thank you. Just a couple of announcements. On June 17th, 1 week from today, is that right? Would it be on a Tuesday? No, 10 days. 10 days from today. I'm like, it wouldn't be on a Tuesday. That's crazy. We're going to have a branch lunch in Orlando. Woo woo, branch lunch, eating wood. That's good. Wait, no, not eating branches. Sorry. So branch lunch in Orlando. I don't have a spot yet, but something came up the other day. I'm like, ooh, that's where we should do our next branch lunch. I like the thumbs up. That's awesome. Yeah, the 17th, I'll let you know. If you have to, please email me or put it in the chat. Let's do it. Put it in the chat right here, right now. Where you want to go, what you want to do. I know Jude's going to make the drive up from Sarasota. She wants to be there. She wants to meet with y'all and whatnot. We do also have a couple of our newest HomeSmart family on the call here. We have Shane and Jill with Southern Trust Mortgage. So if you do have any mortgage questions, please feel free to chime in because they're here to answer and assist and be a resource. Just a little bit, I helped introduce Southern Trust to HomeSmart. Not that I'm patting myself on the back or anything like that, but what really stood out to me was the fact, because every lender has their own little shtick. Freddie and I were actually walking around was it Florida? It was like a Florida Realtors thing, maybe Orlando, maybe Aura. And they were there, and I'm like, all right, what's your guys' USP, right? Why are you guys so special? And they're like, because we have green in our. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't say that at all. And they give me the, we do the fully underwritten. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before, and which is cool. Don't get me wrong, because some lenders don't even do that. Don't, Shane, don't get the sad face. I see the sad face there. Don't do it. All right. But what they had said, which I thought was super unique, was that even after a person qualifies, so if you got 620 and above, like most people know, well, 580 you could get done with FHA. What's up, Mom? How's it going back there? Most people could get it done with FHA, that sort of thing. 580, but typically it doesn't work out. 620 is what most people are looking for. So they said even if you got a 620, they're gonna put you still. You can't call it credit repair, right? But they're gonna give you the credit repair resources to get your credit even fixed up even further, so you can get that best rate. And that really stood out to me, because it's like that people only do stuff like that care about other people. They don't just care about making the buck, so that went a long way with me, because I'm always looking at how much more can I do for my client. I want to ruin them all for any other agent to work with them, right? And to me, that's Sean and Shane and Jill's mentality. It's like, we want to ruin them. Nobody's going to do as much for them as we will. So anyway, that just stood out to me. I'm glad they're smart affiliate, signed up with us now. So please use them as a resource. Shane and Jill and Sean are here for us. So just my little commercial there for a couple of minutes. So we're going to kick this training off.
Hey, Shane, how much are you paying this guy? No, I'm just kidding.
Not much, but hey, Jeremy, I really appreciate that. Yeah, just to kind of expand on that, guys. One of our shining services is our credit department. Mike McNamara runs that. He's the senior VP of our credit, and he's worked for the credit bureaus in various executive capacities for 30 years, and then we reeled him in and paid him a lot of money so that he can look at all of our clients' files. And when I say all, I'm not saying that, like Jeremy said, a 580, yeah, we need to get that to a 620. Actually, 600 right now is our FHA minimum. But I want to get everybody above a 760 if I can. That puts you in the platinum opportunity. Everybody gets the lowest rates, and it carries over into the rest of their life. Like Jeremy was saying, like I really, if we see an opportunity to fix your credit, we're going to do it, because it doesn't just help the transaction and get you a cheaper deal, but it's going to improve your life. And it's free. It's really free. We got a systematic way of doing it, and it takes no time. We give the client a nice bullet pointed detailed list of what to do. If they follow our playbook, it works every time. I've seen credit bumps 120 points on the regular, guys. Really, that's a true thing.
Okay. Thank you, Shane, for sharing. Appreciate you.
Hey, Shane, quick question. Typically, how long does it take for that type of a credit score jump?
So I'll give you an example of the one
I mean, hypothetically speaking, you know?
I did one last week. It was that both of the clients were, one was a 600 dead even, one was a 595. I had them in a position for approval in about 4 days. So we run pretty quick.
Okay. I mean, that's for the credit jump, right? On the score?
For the credit jump. Yeah. But I'd say
and every scenario is different. I know.
Every scenario is different. And we'll even do it. I mean, I did one a few months ago where it was literally the day we sent the CD out, we rescored them and got them 40 point bump and it saved them 1/8 on their rate. So, you know, the timing varies, but for sure we get it done before closing every time, but usually about a week turnaround if the client is motivated and they follow our instructions. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this. Rhonda, can you please give me the property address for your listing? Oh, wait.
Yeah, yes. It's 9221 Becky Cypress.
9221
PE,
something Cypress.
PE,
PE.
CK,
CK.
Y,
Y.
Cypress.
How about
CY,
that? This one?
yes.
All right.
We had couple offers, but fell through.
Okay, we should do a class on pictures. Yes? Yes? Should we do a class on photos, everyone? What do you think?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Professional photos go such a
Yeah.
long way. I only pay $200 for, and that includes drone. And I get more listings that way because of my photos.
Mhm.
Now, and just giving y'all an alternative.
Wait, go back.
Wait, hold please. Okay. I take all of my own photos, do a video tour. Okay. You know, you could still do it yourself and it can still look pretty good, I think. Yeah. Right.
Jeremy, my pictures are blurry.
Oh, you're seeing blurry pictures right now?
Yeah.
No,
mean,
they're clear.
They're not the clearest, but that's just because of the zoom, you know, but we get the picture, Jeremy. I think we could get the picture.
Okay. So
Jeremy, pull this one up real quick. Just look at this. I got this listing because of the photos that I had at the neighbor's house. 12675 Sagewood.
Sage.
Wood.
This one?
Yep, that's it. There's my photos.
Mhm.
Thank
Can you guys see it okay? Is it blurry?
No,
Good now.
Yeah, a lot clearer than the other pictures.
yes.
This cost me $200 and this includes drone pictures and stuff like that. So
And that $200 investment, Scott, probably got you another listing, right? Isn't that what you
absolutely,
just-
that's how I got this listing, was the neighbor's house, and the guy called me and says, I like your photographs that you did. Can you do my rental house? And this guy owns 2 properties.
Mm.
So
So it's like they say, a picture has 1,000 words, or what's the old cliche?
yeah, something like that.
Picture gets
It's
1,000
worth-
listings?
It's worth 1,000 words. Yeah, right? A picture gets 1,000 listings. Yes, please.
Yeah, I agree. Professional pictures are definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go.
Yeah, like without a doubt.
I mean,
And-
you could
and
pull up my
check
last
out-
listing. I've always used.
Wait, what's
professional
that though? Okay, so okay, no offense to the photographer, but pet peeve of mine. What is all that water bottle junk, that
Clear off
towel
the
hanging
counters.
from the-
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we tried to move that and the owner was there and said, no, don't touch my stuff. So yeah, that was always a
All right.
one. Usually I don't let the owners be there. I usually just go in and rearrange things ourselves, but
Yeah.
this one was
Exactly.
different. See,
I
look
go-
at that.
I
You
go.
You
I
can tell them,
take a
hey, we'll put it
picture.
back. We'll put it back when we're done.
Yeah.
I personally take a picture. I take everything down, and then I, take the picture and put everything back the way it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Scott, Mark Collins is asking for the referral of your photographer. If you can type it into the chat. Do you have his contact information, he or she?
Yep, sure do.
Do you mind sharing?
Nope, not at all.
But I do want to do a class on maybe the next coffee with the broker of if you're going to take your own photos, right? Because some people will still be like, no, I don't want to, you know, this and that and the other thing. So if you're going to take your own photos, I've been taking my own photos for, you know, 16 years now, and yeah, so I'm a big advocate of that. But like one thing, I'm not going to pick on Rhonda right here, but just this front shot, just this one, like I'm just gonna say this one thing. Like, why wouldn't you, like, obviously there's nothing in front of the garage, you can see it in the next shot. Why not just back up a little bit, turn it to the side instead of portrait, do a landscape and get the garage in the shot too?
Yeah, your shot should always be, your camera should always be sideways.
Yeah, unless it's a bathroom or something like that and you don't have
It's
the
not a
room.
selfie, so selfies are cool with the phone upright, but you should always get the widest angle and take the whole front of the house. And when you're doing the rooms as well, you should be standing in a corner,
Yes.
taking the biggest angle of the room as well.
And the light should be on, which we're getting off topic.
All
You're
lights
coming
should
from
be
where,
on.
please?
You know,
Light should be on, toilet lid should be closed, all that, like the water bottles and stuff. Obviously, if the seller says
okay.
no, that should be removed from countertops. Any personal items should be removed.
yeah, like you want to, when you take a picture of the kitchen, you want to be able to see the whole kitchen,
whole
like
kitchen.
kind of how it's laid
Right.
out.
Yes.
So stand back into a corner and take it on an angle from a corner. And you might want to take all 4 corners and see which shot is better. I mean, it's digital. You can take as many shots as you want, right? So then you
That
have
would be wonderful.
choices.
I'm on a Zoom call right now, that a training call, but
Hey,
Can you
Scott, would you
give
mind
me
muting? We can hear
a
you,
call
buddy.
back in about an hour, maybe?
He's
All
cutting
right.
deals.
Oh, please. He's cutting deals right now.
He's
All right.
cutting
All right,
deals.
talk to you then.
Talk to you then, Scott. All right.
Scott just got another listing from his pictures. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh man, those pictures. Let's go. Okay, so let's do the RPR thing. Here we go. Okay, so if you have the property in the MLS already, this is how you do it, right? You just go to the listing, click on the little RPR thing right here. Okay. Then it wants you to log in. That's weird. Normally I'm already logged in, but anyway. Okay. And if you're not logged in, you just go to property search, you put in the address, and then it pulls up. Okay. All right. So now it's saying that the property's worth 42.3, right? What I would say
Yes.
a big problem in this market right now, if you don't hit the nail right on the head with the pricing, it's going to sit, you're going to get some lowball offers, and that's just what happens, right? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, if a buyer comes to you and says, hey, I want to put an offer in on this property, I like it, but you know, I'm only willing to pay like $485. Most buyer agents, what are you going to say if somebody wants to place an offer below list price?
Say no. Let's
Yeah,
move.
no, it's going to be a waste of time. Let's not even bother
Yeah.
to see it. Okay.
I have a little something that I want to add. There's always been controversy whether you list it at $499 or actually $500, right? $499 makes the property look cheaper. That's an old marketing trick. You know, you make it $9.99 and people think it's $9 instead of $10. When they see the sign, I would always list it at 500, because if a realtor's searching for 500 and below, guess what? It's not going to pop up on their search.
Yep. Freddie, that's a ninja thing, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember who taught me, but it's
Well,
something
it's
that we've learned.
pricing on the bump. Pricing on the bump.
Yeah.
Or
So
pricing on the
the
bridge.
agent-
That's what it is.
Correct.
Okay.
So when people are doing searches and they're searching at 500 or above, or 500 and below, it's not, or above, I should say, it's not going to pop up because that 500 number is not there. So I would always never do the 99 thing and just add it to the next number.
Absolutely. And I would, Rhonda, I would advise like doing that, right? Getting a price change, modification to the listing, right? changing from 499 to 500, just to see what happens there.
Okay, thank
You
you.
know, because there could, but let's do the RPR first, right? And see if it's justified, right? You don't want to do that, and then you'd be like, oh, I think this is gonna work, and then and again, like, I'm not trying to pick on you, Rhonda. I'm just trying to give you like advice to help, right? To me, the photos, don't do it justice, right? Like there's I think 5 different photos of the kitchen, and I still don't have a firm grasp of what the kitchen looks like, because it's like there's one over here and there's one over here and there's pieces of the kitchen, but it's not like this is the kitchen, and then if you want to come in a little bit closer and get a closer shot, but make sure all the lights are on anywhere that you can see. Like I go through and I turn on all the lights in the entire house before I start taking pictures, right? Because some of them have the cheap CFLs in them, and they take a minute to warm up, right? Which is terrible, right? But if I have the advice, we're not trying to make this a photo class, but if I have the owner's ear and they're listening and doing what I tell them to actually do, I'm saying change out all of those cheap bulbs with LEDs or the old school, if you can still find those, the old school light bulbs. Don't use the CFLs. They don't photograph well. They're very sterile and looking, so you don't want it to look like a hospital. You want it to look warm, inviting. So that's another thing. Always put the toilet seats down. That's another big pet peeve. Like toilet seats up, like ew. Like put it down. Nobody wants to see that. Not to say that you had any photos that I saw with the toilet seat up. I'm just saying that's one of my pet peeves. Okay. Anyway, create CMA. We'll get there eventually. We'll get to how to do this CMA eventually. So now it's
I'm glad you're expressing this, Jeremy, because if you even look at social media, if you're scrolling through your Facebook or something like that, or Instagram, people are going to look at pictures first before they start reading any details or descriptions or comments or stuff like that. Us agents, we've been trained that, hey, other agents don't do good pictures. Like I've only seen listings with one picture on it, and it's the front of the house and nothing else. And then you got to start digging and start reading to see if this house is actually good for your client. And sometimes the descriptions aren't well either. So I think pictures are extremely important, because that's the first thing that's going to lure somebody to your listing. And then obviously the description would be second.
And I look at, I can completely back up what Freddie's saying here, because I look at like at least 150 properties a week online. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, I help this investment group procure properties, right? And so I'm constantly like looking and looking and looking and looking. The very first thing before I read the description, before I do anything, I look at the photos, right? And I may or may not get off my butt to go see that property if there's one photo. I'll then look at the description. Some people put 3-bed, 2-bath house in Orlando, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You have zero effort in the photos, and then you have zero effort in the remarks. That is just crazy. Okay.
And you know what? As a seller, if you send me that, I just hired you as my listing agent, and I ask you, hey, can you please send me a copy of your MLS listing? And you send me a listing like that, I'm not going to be too happy with that.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
that's
So how are
literally
you going to get me the top dollar with this type of listing
I always
and
think that.
advertising and marketing? Is this what you do? Is this how you set yourself apart? Because you're definitely setting yourself apart, but in the wrong direction.
Now, Freddie, I know we're just preaching to the choir here, because obviously these people are on this training. They want to know more. They want to, so let's just stop beating a dead horse here, because I don't think we're talking to the proper audience, right? Rhonda took 64 photos.
And her description is very in-depth, but I'm just trying to get the point across, because I hear this every day, and like you said, you look at 150 properties a week. So, all right, move on.
Okay. So
Well,
confirm.
I just want to add one more thing to the photo.
Yeah,
If we
please,
could
Faith.
share different photographers, because I had a hard time finding someone up in Crystal River because most of mine were down in Tampa and the photographer didn't want to go up there.
Mm-hmm. So you got somebody you want to share too?
Well, I finally found a guy, but it was through another agent actually that doesn't even work for HomeSmart because I liked his pictures. I said, who did your pictures?
There you go.
Hey, wait a second, Scott, you said Crystal Sally did your pictures? Oh, so everybody, Crystal Sally is actually one of our agents.
Yep. She has a company. She's been doing pictures long before she got into real estate. But she's got a company out in Washington State that she still runs that does pictures out there for about 66 realtors, she told me the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's big.
So if you guys look at the chat, take a screenshot. Crystal Sally, she's one, or you can go to homesmartflorida.com and look her up. We're all there.
It'll be nice that we have a vendor list in the Google Docs. That would be great for the different areas.
Well, you have a vendor list of smart partners and affiliates. That's the only way we can actually advertise them, and that's in your dashboard on RSA. Everything else is a referral from agent to agent. So they're not preferred vendors, Brenda, is what I'm trying to say. They're preferred vendors by the agent, not by HomeSmart, okay?
Right, and if we just put like referred by such and such agent in this particular area, obviously it would go through you. That would be great. We do that in Illinois. It helps out.
Okay. Something to keep in mind. All right, so the first thing you want to do on the RPR after you click the CMA button, okay, is confirm facts, right? Obviously, we already know the facts are confirmed because this is Rhonda's listing and we don't need to do it. So if you want to change something like, it's really a 3-bedroom, or it's really, really has 1.5 baths or something like that. So 1 full, 1 partial. The square footage is really 2098 instead of 2095. You can change those things right here on the right-hand side. And then you just hit confirm facts and close. If you're changing nothing, same process, confirm facts and close. Okay, so next is, so we're just working our way down the list here. Right?
Jeremy, I have a question.
Yes.
Go back to confirm facts. How many times have you added, because I've used this before, but how many, and I feel like it's successful at times, and then other times when I'm trying to add in a pool or a screened in pool, go down to the bottom there where it says add a line. Because technically that's where we're supposed to add it, right? Add another row. There you go. Sorry.
Cool.
Okay, but put that. So you could do the drop down for yes or no, I believe. Yep. Now, how do you add in screened? Because there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Or summer kitchen.
Well, I mean, you could add that in, but it's not gonna, filter out things with summer kitchen because, and you wouldn't want to do it that way too, because it's not a mandatory field, right? So even if it has a summer kitchen.
Why are we filtering? Aren't we refining?
This right now is just, no, we haven't refined, or this is not comps. This is just the subject property. Does that make sense? We'll get to the refining in a minute. Okay. When you go to search comps. So let's go back
making
to that.
adjustments.
Yeah.
To the comps,
you-
yeah. But if you,
Yeah,
if
you
your
can make
subject-
adjustments later.
If your
Right,
subject
so-
isn't,
Yeah,
Right,
but
go
if it's in there or not, you're still gonna have to, when you find comps, you're still gonna have to plug all that stuff in. So right now, this is kind of the defaults, right? It's looking for single family homes. It's looking for active, for sale, pending, closed. It's looking within the past 6 months. You could change the dates if you want, but I don't recommend that you do. Okay. Now, this is the only criteria it's looking for right now. 3-bed, 1 bath, minimum, no maximum, 15 to 2,700 square feet. Okay. So it's 2,095 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath. We don't want to make it too restrictive. So what if, and some people will say, okay, let's do, 4-bed, 4-bath, or excuse me, 2 4-bed maximum minimum, 2-bath maximum minimum. Okay, and then square footage. See, there's not a lot of criteria here to plug in as far as like pool, screen and porch. There's more that you can do on the MLS if you do that for CMAs, which is what I prefer to do. This, I think agents will get lazy because if you use what was there when we initially plugged it in, it had a confidence score of 5 stars. Let's go back to that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when we originally started this, I think maybe summary. When we originally started this, it shows down here the confidence score. When it's in a neighborhood, it's pretty easy, okay? Because it's just comparing other apples to other apples, okay? It doesn't know what it looks like on the inside. It's just going off an algorithm, okay, of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, okay, maybe price per square foot. But the algorithm can't look inside the house and see what improvements were made, to see if the cabinets are newer, to see if there's new tile down, to see if there's pretty light fixtures and everything like that. It can't do that, okay? That's where you come in. That's where you have to analyze it, okay? And then it's saying the range. So everything in this neighborhood or this area or that meets this criteria is selling somewhere between 468 to 497, okay? So obviously we know the market's changing dramatically, but maybe there's just nothing that's sold for 499 or even 500 yet, which we're going to find out. Okay. But right now the confidence score, if you just really do nothing and then you plug in kind of what comps it selects out for you, it's going to come up with a real value evaluation of 482, 300. Because it already picked some comps. You can get very lazy doing CMAs this way. I've been up against other people listing properties and they'll just print this out. They'll be like, here you go. Or just email this over. They won't even bother to look at it and size it up and be like, oh, this one's 200 square feet more. This one's, has another bathroom. It's not exactly the same because it's pulling off of 3-bed, 1-bath. Right? So now as we go back into it, and again, create CMA, okay? That's the first thing you do to get into the CMA. Then you're going to confirm the facts, which is already confirmed because we already did that. And you go down to find comps. It's not going to give you a lot of detail. If you want a lot of detail and you want to, Christine, to answer your question, I don't even know how you can filter out screened in or not. I think you just have to visually look at that to see what's what. In my area, there's not a lot of pool, like pool homes might be, maybe 3 out of 10 or something. So to see if they're screened or not really wouldn't take that long,
Can I add to that? So Christine, when you have extra features or updated features like that, you're basically going to have to do an adjustment outside of here. In other words, hey, the pool,
and that's what I do.
The pool enclosure is worth $15,000 more.
Yep.
So when you come up with your evaluation, add 15,000 to that evaluation. There's no simple quick fix for that.
I know.
Okay.
Because I really wish it would do it nicely, and put it on there.
That would be great. And there is a way to add or subtract in RPR, like, oh, this home is better than my home. So
right.
you do it worse than the subject and then it adjusts. So that's kind of nice.
And that's kind of along with that, where the 5 stars is and it has the low and the high, and obviously it gives you the mid, you know what I mean? Or you can figure out your mid, but kind of that low and high range too. I always, as soon as I look at it, my first thing is okay, low is it needs a lot of updating. High is this thing is updated to the hilt. That 500 price mark better be white shaker cabinets, great lighting, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So, I mean, I just use it kind of as a quick. There's a lot of times where I'm just quick, let me look before I run out to show. Let me just look at that quick,
Okay. And I used to be bedrooms, bathrooms. You know, like I used to, if it's got a 4.2, I'm comparing it to other 4.2s. But here's the problem. What if it's the exact same floor plan
Yeah.
and somebody turned a bedroom into an office and it's a 3.2? Or
Or
what if
vice
somebody
versa.
has an extra bathroom,
Mhm.
right? They added an extra bathroom. Same exact floor plan, built in the same year, same square footage. Everything else is the same, but it has an extra bathroom. You can easily adjust like 5, maybe 7 grand for that, right? Depending on the price point. It might be 10,000, depending, you know, if it's $500,000 property, right? And there's no rhyme or reason, or, you know, appraisers will put whatever. Like sometimes I've seen them do a $20,000 adjustment for a kitchen because one kitchen's outdated, one kitchen's new. Sometimes I've seen a 30,000. Sometimes it's like, well, they have stone countertops, so they'll give 5,000. Sometimes I've seen a pool and they'll do a $10,000 evaluation for a pool with a screen. And I'm like,
Yes,
what? You
literally.
know, so
I
there's
had one
no,
that did 15 and then I had another one that did 125. I'm like, what the hell? Like what?
there's
It's
no
ridiculous.
rhyme or reason, guys. There's no sheet that we can print out and send you, or a Google Doc that we can share with you to say, hey, if you're doing this evaluation, this is an art and a skill. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This right here took me a good 5 years to refine and get decent at. But ultimately, you're looking for a property that looks like this from the outside. Okay. So anyway, let's get further into this. So for our purposes, let's do it like this. Let's say we only want to compare this to 1,800 square feet to 2,400 square feet. Okay. We want to leave off the bedrooms, bathrooms. I mean, we could leave on the bedrooms, bathrooms. Okay. But I would say leave it at 3, go to maybe 5, go to 2 and 3 or 4, you know, hit search. Okay. And then it's going to pull up all the comps. So the first ones are the closed comps. Beneath that, and the little blue star, this is what it used on the RVM, which is the automated valuation that it came up with on its own before you were involved. Okay, before you plugged in anything, this is kind of how it gauged its evaluation, which is great. I mean, look at this, right? 2004, right? 1,851 square feet. Okay, closed at 480. Now, if it looks the same inside, right, we got 2,095 square feet. If it looks the same inside, but we're not going to be able to see because this one says Google, right, which means it wasn't listed on our MLS. It was either like a for sale by owner or Zillow or something like that. It wasn't like a standard sale. Okay, so that's another great thing about RPR is it pulls from the tax records and it'll pull other sales, but we don't know the circumstances behind those sales. It could have been a friend selling to a friend, you know, we don't know, right? So we probably don't want to use this one because we can't look inside the home to see what improvements, if any, were done, which is too bad because it closed on 5/28. So that's a really good comp in the same neighborhood, built in 2004, same year, but it is approximately 250 square feet smaller. Okay. But you could always,
I want to add to that. So typically when you're making adjustments for square footage, don't touch anything less than 300 square feet. You don't need to adjust for anything less than 300 square feet.
okay. All right. And notice what we did here on the living square foot. We basically went down 300 and up 300. So what did Freddie just say? Don't touch it for less than
Touch
300.
anything less than 300 square feet.
Right. So we're already pretty much there. So none of these we're going to adjust for square footage. Okay. But this one right here, we can look inside this one. We can click on this one. So this is what I do, just one by one by one. Okay. This one actually kind of looks like the same floor plan, but flip-flopped, you know. Again, we want to keep going back to this, go, okay, yep. Okay. Not exactly, because the front part, you see that peak up there, and it's a different square footage. Like this one is, what is this one? So this one closed at 453. Okay, it's 2288 square foot. So it's a bigger home one less bedroom, one more bathroom. Okay, multiple offers, highest and best, surprise, surprise.
Is that one a 2-story versus the other one, which is a 1-story?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Okay.
Rhonda, yours is a 1-story, right?
Yes, 1 story.
Okay. All right. Now
And
what
it-
I'm
and
doing,
it's
There's a
gonna-
pond view in the back.
now what I'm doing is I'm going through these photos, is I'm looking and comparing it to what I saw with Rhonda's photos to see, does it look similar, right? Has it been updated? Has it been upgraded? The cabinets look pretty similar to me. Right? How would you say this rates to your listing, Rhonda? Would you say
I
this
mean, it
looks
looks-
pretty similar?
Yeah, maybe it's like livable. That's the problem was my house. People they will live in it. I had to wait for them to leave. We did the paint, we did some work, and I didn't have time to call the guy. To be honest with you, for the photos.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him today, see if he can run and do it for me ASAP.
Okay. And we're not trying
Yeah,
to
we
pick on
had to wait for them to leave.
Yeah.
It took
I
them
get-
forever to leave.
Okay. So you missed out on some marketing time because they were still there. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
And people they were complaining. They're always consumers has their feedback.
So comparable wise, like, would you say this is pretty comparable to the subject property, your listing?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, but this is
Okay.
you're saying 2 story, and this is sharing kitchen. I mean, it's like a great kitchen with a great room. I mean, it's not separate.
Okay. And if I'm in front of my client, we're sitting at the kitchen table, right? And I'm going through these comps, right? I'm showing them, like, how would you say that this compares to your home? And I want them to rate it. Like, what is your home rate? And they're like, I would say this is, 10 out of 10 being just like my home, and then, maybe not 10 out of 10, but maybe 5. And if it's a 6, then it's a little bit better than their home, right? And I'm like, okay, so that one was listed and sold. Let's go back here. So then I'm adding this one to the CMA. Okay, built in 2005, so it's 1 year newer. Who cares? Not a big deal, right? We have less than 200, around 200 square feet or so difference. Very comparable, very similar. Closed on March 7th. Okay, probably went under contract about a month before that, February. Market's changed a little bit, maybe not $50,000 worth, but a little bit, right? So then we go on to the next one. Same street, same neighborhood, right? 0.13 away. Okay, and again, looking through the photos. I want to see the photo. What? Sorry. Like, why would that be your third photo? Good God. Get into the house. Oh God, that's. I'm such a photo snob. Please forgive me. Okay, that's a nice photo, sort of. Like, back up a little bit.
Actually, his elbow was in the mirror. I could see it.
Yeah. You see, I had to delete one of the photo because it shows my arm and
Yeah, be
That's my-
careful
yeah.
when you're taking pictures of a bathroom and stuff like that.
I
Make
took it
sure you're
away.
not showing
I
up in the
deleted.
mirror.
yes,
It's-
yes.
We've caught some people doing some funny things in those mirrors. So just look at the shot before you post it. Make sure there's nothing in the mirrors or a reflection off of a
Somebody-
glass.
Somebody tell me what this is, because I don't know what it is.
That's a great
This is
question.
a bookshelf.
But does the bookshelf go with it? Are they selling the bookshelf with the property?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Just be cautious. Like, this is a decent photo. Again, if they could get back a little further,
It's a great picture of the couch.
I mean, that's a decent photo, right? It shows the size of the room and everything like that. They're back far enough. in my opinion, it should have a little bit better lighting. But again, we're not making this necessarily a photo class, but that it's a little crooked. Can you see that? Like it's off to the left a little bit. And then, you know, that's another pet peeve of mine. Don't go inside, outside the house. Like just have it start at the front, right? Go inside, take all your inside photos, then go outside, take all your outside photos, like you would if you were touring a house.
Yeah,
That's-
put your
this-
pictures in like in a tour.
Yeah, this
pattern.
photo is stupid. Is the table, is the thing coming with? I mean, the only thing that's staying is the walls, which you can kind of see, but you have no idea. It might be an eating kitchen area. You know, think about what you're taking photos of. I see like close-ups of like faucets. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess the faucet's coming with the property, but you know,
Jeremy, what I do is, since the MLS actually requires the first picture to be the outside of the home, the front of the home.
Yeah.
I just start my pictures as a tour. So I open the front door and I start the first room that I see. I take that picture and then I look to the right and then go into that room and then I just tour the home with my pictures.
Yeah.
And that's how I upload them. So it makes it like I'm walking through the home with the pictures.
okay, so 3.2, 1820 square feet. You know, smaller home, right? Last list price 1121. So when did it? Let's go back. Okay, so we were down here. This one sold at closed at 428, right? Closed on 2.2. See, we're getting further away with closing, right? As we go through this crazy market, right? The longer how do I put this? The older it is, the less valuable it is. Like this one here, like this one, okay, it's smaller, 528. I wish we could see the inside photos because this one looks like a great comp, right? It's smaller, closed at 480, you know, but anyway, we got to go with what we got. Okay. So this one's smaller, but a good comp. It's in the same neighborhood on the same block, right? Again, you know, we just went through and ripped down the photos, but ultimately it's like, hey, how does this compare to yours, right? So Rhonda, how does this compare to your list? Even though it's smaller, even though it has one less bedroom, how would this one compare to yours? Is it a little bit better, a little bit worse?
Go back.
Oh, yep.
Let's
There's
say
three.
medium,
Medium?
in the middle. Let's
In the
say in the middle.
Okay. And the cabinets, right? The cabinets look the same. Those are the same kind of cabinets that are in the kitchen, right? Bathrooms?
Yes.
Okay. Same thing, but they replaced it with stone.
Yeah, like mine has all tiles, even the bedrooms.
Okay.
All the bedrooms has tiles, has a window treatments. The living room and the dining has high efficiency hurricane windows.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're still going to add it, but that's not going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit less, right? Okay. This one closed for 460. 4.3, a little bit bigger. Okay. Built in 2006. So still, you know, similar. And it's 0.14 away. So still in the same neighborhood. Okay. Let's look at this bad boy. Again, I do want to compare apples to apples. This is another 2-story home. I want a 1-story home in a perfect world with 2095 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath. Okay.
Well, in a perfect world, Jeremy, actually, this looks like it's in a gated community or in a community. So typically when they are, you only have 7 or 8 models in that community, sometimes more. All right. So try to look for the same model.
Yep.
There's got to be another house that's exactly the same as your listing in that community. There's got to be more than one. I can tell you that, because they only offer certain models. So that'd be the easiest way. Obviously, if there's none there that have closed recently, then you move on to other models with similar square footage and layouts and stuff like that.
And Rhonda, I know we're not done looking at this yet, but how would you say this compares to yours?
I mean,
I think it's a 1-story, but it's got a bonus room above the garage. I think that's where we're at right now, is the bonus room.
That's
No,
on the
obviously, you want to take the 1-story homes first, but if there is none, you can compare a 2-story to a 1-story, just going by square footage.
Mhm.
Because typically 1-story or 2-story is a preference. It's not an adjustment. Does that make sense? It's something that someone that's gonna live there prefers to have a 2-story or a 1-story. But the square footage is basically the same.
And this is one of the freshest ones right here, right? 6.6. It's a little
Yeah.
further away.
And this has everything.
Closed yesterday. Sorry, go ahead, Rhonda. What were you saying?
That house, everything is original from 2004. No update, nothing.
Okay, this one right here, the one we just looked at.
No, the one that.
The next one.
Oh, this
Next
one.
one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's scroll through here. And this, no, it's 1,800 square feet.
So basically, if you're going to use this one, you're gonna have to make an adjustment for the updates on the subject, right? And how would you do that? You add the adjustment. You don't touch a subject ever. You always add adjustments to the comps.
Yep.
So if your house has $50,000 in upgrades, and this one is original, obviously there's some wear and tear and time and stuff, then you need to make an adjustment. I wouldn't add the whole 50, I'd add maybe 30 or 25.
We're getting close to the end of time here. I just wanted to say, like, please never do what they did. Every single photo is doubled. So they have 54 photos, but really it's what, 26? See, every photo is doubled. So, yeah. So I would add this one, but obviously make the adjustment to it, right? And then ultimately what you do is go look at the pending, right? Because that's where the market is going. So you got this one, obviously no photos. That's not going to help us out much, but it's 0.1, right? On the same block, in the same neighborhood. Got another pending here. 625. I'm guessing it looks amazing inside. Maybe a recent reno, because like nothing was going above 500, right? And then you got this one 625, and it's under contract. So 18 days on the market. They probably got somewhere around 625 or maybe a little bit under, but probably not much. Only 16 days on the market. Right? You got another one here, 18 days on the market, pending, 499.9, square footage 2317. So this is the closest square footage wise, 4.3, not a 4.2, same year built, 470. But you know, no interior photos, so we can't see that. Rhonda, did you tour this one or look at this one at all?
I'm sorry, which one?
This one here, the 9107 Picky Cypress.
No, I didn't tour it.
Okay. For what it's worth, I would try to get into that one to see how it compares to yours. Because it's the
There's
closest.
no pictures?
Nope, no photos. Oh, just kidding. Ooh, here we go.
That's the story of my house. So the day that we're gonna do the inspection, my buyer, they went to that one and they already put an offer. They were putting 2 offers on 2 houses, mine and that one.
Okay.
The day of my inspection, by 6:30, he sent me the cancellation contract.
Okay. And obviously,
remember, Freddie?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Rhonda, I remember clearly this, yeah. But it looks like they decided that they liked the other house better afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when they're putting offers on multiple houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest,
Which is a
not
big
by
problem.
6 o'clock when everybody's there. By 6:15, send me cancellation.
Yeah.
I mean, he would tell me day before, we're not gonna do it. I mean,
Yeah,
not
and
to
it
tell
looks,
me like, to call me at 5:40, what's the gate code? And we're gonna be there by 6.
Mhm.
He was so tricky, the agent. Excuse my comment, but
no, I get it. That's how you feel, you know?
big
So,
time. I mean, put everyone in my foot and let them explain or let them answer my situation.
mhm,
I mean, you can tell a day before, and that day I had really good cash offer, was full cash offer.
mhm.
And we couldn't take it because we already did the
Right,
Contract.
had a contract already executed.
yes,
So,
executed, yes.
Yeah. so, oh, wait. Okay, so, you know, we selected the comps, right? We added the comps, we got the closed, we got the pending, right? And then you go into adjust comps. And then what you can do here is you could say, okay, it's better or worse, right? But notice it's saying, it's kind of the opposite in my mind, right? This one right here is better. It makes the subject property go down in value. So if your subject property is better and this property is worse, then it'll make yours go up in value. Okay, and you can just kind of play around with these like Christine Bouchard, excuse me. Like this is how you adjust for like the screened in porch, but of course the screened in lanai or screened in pool, right? And you just kind of have to, you know, make it up, right? And it's not going to be, but it's going to see what it does over here, right? It's going to keep changing. So if you just do a little bit here and a little bit here, it's going to change that number over here for the total. Okay. So this could be, you know, like here, you're doing this adjustment here, and then you hit next, and then you keep doing it for all the comps. Like, okay, this one's a little bit worse. That's why it sold for 430, right? This one was a little bit better because it basically, it's got a pool, right? It's $20,000 cheaper and it's got a pool. So I'd say, yeah, you know, adjust that way. This one here, we don't know. We didn't look at it, but this one probably should not be in here because it just throws off the comps altogether. 625, like it's just going to throw it off, right? I wouldn't even see if we can delete it here. Yeah, okay, we got rid of it. Cool. So then we got this one here. Run out of time, so I'm trying to kind of speed it up a little bit. You move this way, you know, and you ultimately you get done with it. Update and save. Okay. So now it's saying the property is worth approximately 467. And this is all subjective, right? At the end of the day, you know, we've all seen the same things. Anybody but Rhonda, I want you to kind of give your opinion. What range do you think this should be at? Do you think she should move it up to 500K? Anybody? There's no wrong answers here. Just your personal opinion.
I think you ought to go to 500K,
No.
just maybe for a couple or a week, just to see if you're getting some other traffic.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Somebody said no.
I would look at what's active on the market and
There's
take
nothing.
that into consideration too. If there's nothing else, I would leave it at 500.
There's nothing active, Freddie.
I would leave it at 500.
Christine Bouchard, were you trying to chime in?
I mean,
Okay,
we
my
were
personal
talking,
opinion-
me and you, Freddie, to reduce it. And now we wanna keep it as 500.
Well, I'm just going, I mean, I didn't pull comps and this is a quick comp. Jeremy's number is not, what we did here is not, you know what I mean? By any means, a
Yeah.
CMA. This is just an example, so.
I mean, based on,
And guys, by the way, that property is behind Disney. I mean, imagine how much employees of Disney, they love to have this kind of property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 minutes away.
and again, you got no competition, which is nice. There's no active properties, but just based on the pool home being similar, has an extra full bathroom, has a complete pool, right? I would price it somewhere between 450 to 475 based on the closed comps and that pending pool one. Again, you know this area better than I do. You took more time to analyze it. That's just my 2 cents from the brief, quick CMA that we did here.
Yeah, so if your highest comparable is better, then you definitely need to make some adjustments.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And
Wish
to
me
finish,
good luck today. Wish me good luck today.
good luck today. To
Thank
finish
you,
this
guys.
up, you just simply hit run report. It's going to take a couple of minutes to generate. It's going to come up with a doorbell sound, which is kind of weird. When the report is done, then you can download that, save as a PDF. All right. It's still working on it. It's not done yet. Okay. When it comes up, it'll pop up on your screen, bing bong, that sort of thing. And then you just download as a PDF is how I do it. And if my client is virtual, I would never just send it over to them, right? I would always, want to do a Zoom or something like that if they're not local and go through the numbers with them, right? Or if I'm sitting down with them in person, I would still go through and I would pull the property up on the MLS and be like, look at what it looks like compared to yours. And I would keep asking them, like I was asking Rhonda, how does this compare to your home? Do you think it's better or worse? And I would take notes and I would write it down right there in front of them. Okay, you said it was better. You said it was worse. I'm not telling them, because then you're just going to end up with a fight. What do you think? If I gave you $500,000 worth of monopoly money right now, or life money, whatever you want to call it, right? Which house would you pick? And if it's not yours, we're not priced right. But it's just questions. You're not telling them this one's better than your house because you're just going to end up in a fight.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Hey, gang, I gotta
What
go.
do you-
It's
Okay,
good to
Freddie.
see everybody this morning. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I gotta go do
Thank
some broker
you.
stuff. Have a great day.
Broker stuff.
Broker stuff.
All
Bye.
right. So I'm gonna finish. I'm waiting for the doorbell thing to chime in, because I want to show you what it looks like when it pulls up. Okay, because it's very pretty. I think it's easier doing a CMA through the MLS, but the problem is it ain't that pretty. Okay, RPR is a lot prettier, and it obviously pulls off market properties as well, right? Because we got that one
Jeremy?
question mark. Yeah.
One thing that I found with this, I use this when, depends on my customer. If I'm somebody my age or older, they love this. If
Yeah.
I'm working with a millennial, they could give a crap. They don't care. They really don't. There's like, okay, I got it. How much are you going to sell it for? That's, they just want to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
So, just my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, I got you. A lot those D's, those high D's, right? Want to just tell me how much can you listen for? How much can you sell for? That sort of thing. Right? But I always tell people, look, I could throw out a number, but it's going to be meaningless unless you understand why. So can I show you a couple of things? Would that be all right? Get their permission to proceed. That's what D's want. D's want to be in control. So if they're pressuring you like that, like just give me a number, just give me a number. Like, hey, I can give you a number, but it's going to be meaningless. Okay. Would you mind if I showed you how I came up with my number? It'll just take 5-10 minutes, depending on if you got questions. Would that be all right? Okay. So it doesn't want to ding dong. I'm not going to keep you on this call, waiting for the ding dong. I'm already here. So yeah, anyway, this ding dongs, if you haven't done this before, do it. Go through the process, get yourself comfortable with it, right? But I think overall we did a good evaluation. And again, I think between 450 and 475 is kind of the right price. Again, you know, I have driven through this neighborhood. I do know this neighborhood. I do know, once Rhonda said this is right by Disney, I'm like, oh, I know exactly where it is. And they're beautiful homes. They're beautiful homes over there. It's super close. It's just like 10 minutes down the street from Disney. So yeah, but this report comes up beautiful. Like it satisfies those analytical clients because it's got all the stats and charts and graphs and everything like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. Does anybody have any questions for me?
How does this compare to Cloud CMA, in your opinion?
I've never spent a lot of time. Cloud comes up with a beautiful CMA as well. I personally have used it once or twice. I haven't spent a lot of time getting familiar with it. But anything that picks out the comps for me, I don't want to put too much faith in. I want to go through each individual. Cloud comes together and pulls comps for you and can make you very lazy. You have to personally go through, right? That's why we're better than Zillow. You have to personally go through and know what you know and look at what you look at to decide if this is a good comp.
Another question is, does RPR, can you bring over one that you want to pick from the MLS?
Yeah, we just did. That's exactly what we did.
Oh, okay.
Right? It was
A comp.
Yes, it pulled all of the ones that and put into the CMA before, like, you know, we didn't put one or two in there, right? The one for 625, we took that out, right? And then there was one in there with 0 pictures that had not sold through the MLS that sold for 480, and it wanted to put that in there as well, which I didn't want to put in there because we don't know what it looked like any interior photos, right? That was one that sold without that wasn't through the MLS because it'll pull from tax records.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you get to pick.
Is it live? So say, for instance, while we were doing this and a live one came up, someone just put it in or whatever as sold. Will it pull that one in too? I know Cloud CMA does it.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, once you go to find the comps, it pulls them then. But if something popped through in the 5 minutes that you were kind of going through and picking and choosing, and would it pull another one? I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. But this is a good resource. Personally, I like doing it through the MLS because it's easier to filter. It's got way more filters. So how I would do it if I wanted to use the prettiness of the RPR report is I would pull them up with all my filters, figure out, like, pull up a one-line summary of the different comps that I want in there. And then I would go to RPR and put as many parameters and just go through and click the properties because I just think it's easier that way. I want to give you all the practical, but to teach you how to use the different things that you have at your fingertips. Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I know you guys' time is valuable and you got to go out there and sell some houses today. So get on it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Any other questions before I let you go?
Nope. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, you're welcome, everybody. Thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Jeremy.
Thank you for showing up. And please, please, please reach out to Freddie if you need anything. That was a joke, get it? Like, don't reach out to me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, reach out to me if you need anything. Bye.